Always disappointed to go out of the cup, but I think probably the manner of that defeat was disappointing for no one else more than you.
I've been in non-league 30 years now, Tim. Started at Darwin, you go to Kendal, Clitheroe, Bamber Bridge, FC United, wherever it will be. Days like this mean a lot to football clubs. Not necessarily for the money, but the amount of work that goes in to give you that little bit of hope that maybe you can get to the first round of the FA Cup. The work that goes on at every football club, just to maybe get that payday that can help you. Today, unfortunately, too many individuals, dare I say it, look like it didn't matter. It was just another game. And to me, days like this, especially to my club, our club FC United, where we've talked about the debt, the problems that we're in. The game was never about money, but it does help. To roll over in the manner we've rolled over in again, that's really disappointing, and it's just a big sorry to everybody. I'm not going to come here and start berating my players. They've had an off day today. We've all had an off day, but that's not enough energy, enough hunger, enough desire to try and look as though you want to stay in the FA Cup. That's not the desire, the energy, or the game plan that Michael Clegg's deployed today. They've done great. They've used the word slap. They've slapped us, but it's just really disappointing that lads haven't collectively done more today, Tim, because, saying that we needed the money, but we needed to give a fist of showing that we wanted to get through to the third qualifying round, and we haven't done that. So with that, I apologise as the manager. I take that. I own that. But, like I said to the lads in the dressing room, there's too many similarities now between the Marine game, the Radcliffe game, and the Warrington Rylands game now, where we've gone one behind and then we capitulate. Where's our leadership skills? So disappointing, really disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, the game opened up. It looked pretty promising, to be fair. We had a number of attempts. There was a couple of really good chances. Obviously, the one in the first half where Dante just put it wide of the post. They scored in the 30th minute. And then they just went deep. It was like 5 at the back, and goalkeeper got carded for time wasting in the 38th minute. And you thought, right, that's going to be. But at 1-0 at half time, there was no sort of worry about the second half.
No, and we just felt we needed to inject something different. Unfortunately, we wanted to bring Donahue on. We got given the red light by Liv. He's still not 100%, and same with Munro. Then could have changed it to Palincas, but again, Liv had said, no, he's not fully ready. So we thought, we needed to inject something different. We knew Donce will get 45 minutes his first game back. And we started the second half in a way that was good. But, to then concede the second, listen, if you go and watch Jude's goal for Radcliffe against us when it's the party of the Red Sea, watch their second goal today. It's exactly the same thing. Nobody, dark arts, tries to bring it down. We part, we go open, the kid goes through, he hits the post, it rebounds, we don't react across, and they score. It's really poor. It's really poor, but it's happened now. It's happened, and we'll go back over the game. But in a, kind of a tongue-in-cheek way, just in the dressing room, there's a difference between being good one week and not so good the next week, as long as there isn't repetitiveness of that. We've done it 3 times now, Tim. So that says to me that we're probably crying out for a Donahue or a Munro today, and we didn't have them. We didn't have them, but that doesn't. Listen, I'm not blaming the result because we didn't have them too. We were too wide open. We were too flat. And after the week we've had in training, it's been brilliant. And the last 2 results, I thought I was fully confident, but we didn't give up. I'm not saying the lads ever give up, but we lost our organisation, we lost our key instructions, and we lost our rhythm to the game. And I was just praying and hoping it didn't end up 5, because I thought, I can't have another 5 against us. And I was really glad when the referee blew the final whistle, because there was times with 10 minutes to go I thought it could have ended up 5, 6, 7. But credit to the lads, it didn't. We stuck in, and just got to put it behind us now and try and regroup and move on.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd seen that performance in the temperatures we had last week, you could understand it, because it was oppressive heat. But we were sparkling last week, and then we've not had a game in the week space. We've had 2 just training sessions. Obviously, got sort of good energy in those. It's hard to as someone who's just watching the game, basically as a fan, to understand basically how the the energy level just seemed to be that bit lower this week.
And I haven't got an answer to that, because the warm-up was great. There's lads coming back in. There's a couple of lads been left out today. You had to leave them out. You're thinking people are going to be refreshed and recharging. It's probably the way we started the game, Tim. First 10, 15 minutes, I thought, right, we're at it now. But we gave the first goal away. We went to hit the ball long, which we never do. The lad knows who did it. We then surrender possession. He again gets in wrong side of our man. He crosses the ball and puts the header in the top corner. And you think it's so avoidable. But there was still not enough at the end of the first half. There was nowhere near enough. We're kidding ourselves if we think that was anywhere near acceptable. The second half was nowhere. It's not good. It's just not good enough. And that's collectively, that's from me and all the group. It's an apology to everybody connected with the football club. And the manager are the one who comes under criticism, and rightly so, Tim, 100%. I'll never shy away from that. But that set of lads in the second half didn't run hard enough, didn't work hard enough. And unfortunately, we got what we deserve, which is nothing. And, all the best to Orange and Rylands. We should be watching the draw at 1 o'clock on Monday, or have the opportunity to do. And we're not. And the last thing we said at half time before we went out was make sure we go and get a replay. We don't go out of the competition. Well, I think too many people felt sorry for themselves second half, and it didn't happen. We're out. Don't matter if you go out 1-0, 2-0, 4-0, 10-0, you're out. And we've got to put it to bed now and try and move on and get ready for Whitby next week.
You mentioned obviously Donahue and Monroe were on the bench today. Are they likely to be in contention?
Well, I hope they're ready to start. I'll tell everybody. I hope they're both ready to start. They come through training this week. They start. I'll give you that as my team selection already. If they both come through training, they're too good not to start. And that's nothing against anybody else. I'm not saying that, but arguably Donna's for me is the best player in the league. I've said it over and over again. Munro, we've brought him in to be that anchor, that defensive midfielder. We've missed his steal and his goal when he's not been in. So yeah, they play. They play. I don't think many people could come today and knock on my door and ask why they wouldn't be playing next Saturday. I think that's a really poor showing, and we've got to accept it. We've got to, as a group, all hold our hands up. Not good enough from me, not good enough from the staff, not good enough from the team, and we've got what we deserve. I just said it. We've got nothing, but I'm not going to turn on them. Absolutely not. They're brilliant to work with. They're fantastic. We've had a big off day. We've had 3 of them now this season. We don't want any more because they're really hard to digest. But I go back to what I said at the start of the interview. A lot of our work goes on to make game day. A lot of our work, and people are praying. Can you get through and can you get a little bit more money in the coffers? You should never play a game hoping that, but it does help, and that's why I said to the lads in there, don't be knocking on the door and where's my paycheck, etc. Because the paycheck's not there from today, and we haven't performed well as a group. We've performed really poorly at work, and with that we deserve nothing. We get nothing, but it's not all doom and gloom. Like you said, we're unbeaten at home in the league. We're going to have a good week's training. The lads have shown every time they've got beat against Marine, against Radcliffe, and against today, we'll bounce back. We know we'll bounce back, but we've got to do a bit of soul searching now. People have got to take a long, hard look at themselves, individually, me as well, collectively, think and put a marker down on why that went so wrong today, because we haven't changed anything, nothing at all. So to me, that's down to mindset, and that's the thing that we've got to work on in training this week. So yeah, sorry to everyone involved at the football club, connected to the football club. Not good enough, but there's a lot worse things that can happen in life. We've lost a game of football. We've got to move on from it. Yeah,
well, return to league action next Saturday here at Broders Park against Whitby Town.
Yeah, and hopefully, everyone's here. It felt slightly flat today around the ground. I think there wasn't a great crowd, and then they turned us around, didn't they? We didn't attack the SMRE. We like doing second half. That's not an excuse. I just hope that people can kind of put a plaster over this performance today, and we move on from it. The plaster will come off, and we'll have to look underneath the plaster how deep the wound is, and that's what we'll do. But we've got to move on from it. Next Saturday for me can't come soon enough. A lot of work to do between now and then. And who knows, Tim? We might even dip into the transfer market this week. We might even go and have a look at maybe in 1 or 2 more bodies, because I think we are short in maybe 1 or 2 key areas. But I'll speak with the staff about that, and then we'll get ready for Whitby next week.